Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. Yesterday I showed you guys how to do a financial calculation on how many hours every week your driving is costing you, because it costs you in two ways. Right? First, you got time that you spend behind the wheel, but less obviously, you also need time to earn the money to uh, pay for all the expenses related to your car. And I showed it was about five times what the average person might take for a vacation. So think about that the next time you or your office think about any sort of return to the office mandate, right? You could all the squabbling about how much vacation time people are getting. This is five times that. Five times. I'll let you watch yesterday's video to understand. But there's another aspect of driving, even that doesn't encompass, and that's the anxiety of getting stopped by the police in a traffic stop, and that anxiety hits me hard. I haven't always been financially well, and even today I'm not all that well. And I cannot afford to just get a ticket most of the time, even if it's a bullshit ticket that doesn't have any points, right? So I live in, I don't know where I'm going to be moving to now, but I'm going to be working in Midtown Phoenix. And so I spent a lot of time driving Midtown, downtown Phoenix, a lot of police officers. I would say it's probably once a week that you just happen to be in front of a police officer. May not be pulled over every time, but there's always the potential of that happening. And it weighs on me hard. I'll be on my way to the office. I'll happen to have a police officer behind me for 5 miles. By the time I get to my office, I am completely drained. And sometimes I even have to pull off the road to kind of catch my breath. One time I had gone into a Starbucks to catch my breath after something like that. Before I knew it, I was running late, and I literally had to tell my boss that I felt a little bit sick during the drive. I had to catch my breath. I'll be in there shortly. And I didn't want to elaborate that it was a police car, but I felt sick, so I didn't feel like I was lying about that. Another time, I was I had just lost a job, but I was in the midst of a career pivot anyway. So, but I had a month and a half where I was unemployed. That's fine, but money was tight. I knew how much I could spend. Right? You ever have money so tight that you literally have calculated, I'm going to spend this much this day on this, right? I didn't have any room to play with. Thank God not much went wrong during that time. But one day it's 10, 11 p.m., and I just happened to drive in front of a police officer. I looked down the road, and there's this driveway I could pull into. I thought I'll just pull in there like I was going home. The police officer will pass me. That's the end of the story. Turns out the driveway led into a church, and when I pulled in, the police officer actually did pull me over. I was in such a mess that I blurted out all my fears. I just lost my job 2 weeks ago, and I was kind of scared when I saw you. I hope I wasn't doing anything wrong, was I? I kind of said something to that effect. And to my relief, he simply told me that there had been a lot of chaos at that church. Somebody breaking in, vandalizing, or something like that. It's a church, so they're a target for that kind of stuff. And so that was good, but again, I probably couldn't sleep that night. Now, my mom owned some rental properties, and she used to do background checks of her tenants all the time. And we would laugh about how many speeding tickets these people got. I got nowhere near any of her tenants, but you know what? Part of it is just the financial edge that I live on, and maybe part of it is that I need to be in a situation where I can afford to occasionally give a nice, good donation to the police department without thinking about it, and then just drive as safe as I can, not worry too much about it, right? I can't really do it at this point, right? So that could be it. And instead, it's driving a lot of financial anxiety. One day, I was late getting to work because of or not late, but I was messed up at work because of this. And then it dawned on me, wait a minute, having my performance fucked up by this isn't good for my financial situation either. And now, as a result, I have to go back to the road with even more anxiety about the police. It's just a vicious cycle that I want to break out of. This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.